And here we are on Metropolis, and at the 3 o'clock position, we have our red Protoss player from SlayerS. It is Alicia. He's trying to put his team just 1 game away from advancing over Team Liquid, their representative here at the 9 o'clock position, our blue Terran player, TaeJa.
Yep.
Are you reading?
I'm trying to, but I don't understand what they're saying.
Okay.
My Korean's terrible.
That's all right. It's better than
mine.
mine.
I can sound it out, but that's it.
It's better than mine.
That's all I got.
So, well, anyway, we get the TT face, so I'm okay with that. So, yeah, sad.
Sad, but we also had the laughing thing too earlier. So
okay,
it's okay.
So it's like the Greek comedy and tragedy mask that's just being representative here.
They laughed, they cried, they played a Protoss versus Terran game on Metropolis.
That's true. That's usually how those Greek tragedies start, honestly. So
that's true.
At least most of the ones that I've read.
I think Shakespeare wrote a lot about StarCraft as well.
Yeah, he did.
What Romeo and Juliet was actually about. It was about Zerg and Terran, and Kerrigan and Reyna are really the Romeo and Juliet of that world.
Shakespeare himself was actually an avid Zerg player, so many don't know this, but
that's why all of his books say "For the Swarm" in the dedication of the star. That's I was wondering why that was in middle school. I never got it.
Yeah, I mean,
had us read those. Yeah,
I think people are going to have only it was For Thine Swarm, and so
For
a lot of
Thine
kids
Swarm.
are turned off of it because they don't like the Old English.
That's
but I
true.
really recommend that they go back and check it out.
Yeah, that's right. For Thine Swarmy Host.
Well,
yes. Oh, hey, look, it's a barracks. Who knew?
Yeah. Hitting back a little bit, but not going to trick Alicia. He's too good, and he scouts. So that's a good combination to find out what your opponent is doing. Probe going to try and be as annoying as it can, but not really going to do any lasting damage at all.
Yep. Good to just be annoying and then kind of pull away before you take any permanent damage to your probe. Obviously, the shields come back, so you can take a couple hits and not really worry about it too much. No Nexus first or anything from Alicia. It looks like it's going to be a 1-gate expand or some sort of variety in that nature. We'll have to see how aggressive he wants to be with it.
And Alicia's control too good. Only taking a little bit of damage there, and he does block with the pylon as well. Of course, they're Terran. They can lift the structure over, but it still does greatly annoy a Terran opponent.
Yeah, man, 25 minerals to be annoying like that, I'd say it's a worthwhile investment. Yeah, we hardly see it at all. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of math whizzes out there in the community that could tell me if it's actually worth it or not.
No, he only did 21 resources worth of damage there. So.
Hey, man, that's cool. I respect all the people that can actually put in the time to actually figure out the math for that, because I do not have the capability to process that sort of data.
That's what drives the game forward, though, is that sort of analysis. So
definitely.
Well, another Nexus coming down. Pretty typical 1-gate expand. Looks like he knew exactly what his opponent was doing. TaeJa not really throwing anything weird at us. In fact, going after a build we've seen a lot out of him recently. Up to double gas right afterwards. We'll see if he gets a relatively quick third command center once again, just off of these this one barracks, I guess I should say.
Yeah, curious to see if he does go for a tank play again. I mean, we saw it last game as sort of a transition into bio play. And one of the things that Terran players have said at the highest level since StarCraft 2 started is that it's very difficult to transition between techs for Terran players, because if you think about it this way, if a Zerg wants to switch from making a lot of Mutalisks to a lot of Infestors, for instance, all he needs to do is put down an Infestation Pit. If a Terran player wants to switch from making a lot of Marines to a lot of Hellions, he needs to put down multiple buildings. You need to put down 3 or 4 factories at that point. If it's later in the game you want to switch. So it's much more time-consuming, much more expensive for Terran players to tech switch than other races. So you don't see a whole lot of it. Basically, with Terrans, it's just the opening, then the beginnings of the strategy, and then little things added in to augment that overall strategy over time. So I do like that TaeJa's kind of experimenting a little bit more with the idea that you can do a little bit of tech switching. What if I do decide to go Marine tank for a little while and then switch into mostly bio? That's something that you can do a little bit easier. So it's interesting to see, and we're going to see something different again this time. Looks like it's going to be probably Cloaked Banshees.
That's what it looks like. Quite a bit of gas being saved up. We may see another command center behind this as well. So there are 400 resources saved up here. No, actually, a lot of Marines for now, and of course, he will move into that cloak here in just a second. Engineering base coming up as well, so of course, this is just going to be temporary. Alicia putting down that forward pylon outside of TaeJa's base, but he doesn't quite have the vision to pick up on it.
Yeah, so that might be some pressure put on by the Protoss player a little bit later. Engineering bay on the way as well for TaeJa, and I'm curious to see now if he decides to make a lot of Banshees, or if he does decide to just switch over to switch over to tanks fairly quickly as well, and go kind of that style that we saw Nada doing before he sadly retired, that Marine Banshee tank style off of 2 bases, kind of trying to turn that strategy into a little bit of a longer game.
And it looks like Alicia is trying to put on 3-gate pressure, but all of the units for TaeJa had just run across the map, so there's really nothing back at home to defend. TaeJa knows it. He pulls everything off the line to go ahead and hold here, but he needs more units, and he needs them very quickly.
Yeah, nice thing for TaeJa is that Puzzle doesn't know these Marines are coming, so that may be a way for TaeJa to do some damage, but oh man, he might be in a bit of trouble because here comes Puzzle.
Okay, well, Alicia rolling his way up. He's going to try and take out this bunker. The bunker's getting pretty low in health. Not a lot of DPS sitting inside the bunker as well, and it looks like the Marines trying to work their way inside. They pick off a couple of probes, but not a lot of damage has been done. Those Marines are going to get cleaned up very quickly, and Alicia is doing huge amounts of damage to Liquid TaeJa.
TaeJa looks to be in a bit of trouble here. No wall to prevent those units from just walking right up the ramp and into the base of our Liquid Terran player, and those Cloak Banshees may come in very, very handy here. TaeJa doing a ton of damage back home. But does he have any detection? That's the big question here.
No, he does not. Not an ounce of it, and won't have any for a while. So, yeah, the forge is done, so we can start to drop down some photon cannons, but no pylons inside of his natural as well, so nothing going to hold on to that for a while. TaeJa, certainly, I know he's worried about back home, but he's going to need to DPS down these cannons or kill a lot of workers here very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I think with that cannon, Alicia should be safe. There's just not a good way for TaeJa to worry about taking that out. And TaeJa definitely in huge trouble right now. Yeah, he just moves to the other expansion here.
And oh, GG, that's right, GG. Oh, unfortunately, the tech lab was picked off. Cloak did not finish, so there it is. There's GG,
well,
yes.
That solves it for sure.
But yeah, there we go.
Well, either way, I mean, SlayerS will take the win. Alicia will bring it to a 4-2 score right now. Even if